What's going on, everyone? Jake here from Half Chrome, and this is the Holy Tone HT70, and it is a beginner, compact, foldable drone with GPS, a handful of intelligent flight modes, and a 4K camera. I'm going to walk you through my experience with this drone. I'm going to show you some pictures and videos coming out of it, and just kind of share my general experience. Now, this thing retails for a lot. Let's take a quick peek. $279, but there is, if you look, an $80 coupon, right? So you can click right here, save $80. Now it brings it down to $200, and I also have a coupon code for another 30% off. So it gets to about $140. So at $140, I think this is a pretty solid option for beginners. They also have a Fly More combo where you get 3 batteries. That's $379. It looks like they have a $100 coupon here, right? So bringing it to $280 minus, and then you get that 30% off again. So that brings it just under $200, $196. So at those prices, I think this is an option. Full retail, different story. But yeah, decent drone. We've got we've got some brushless motors here. That's the beauty of live reviews here. Brushless motors, like I said, GPS. This camera has a 1/3.2-inch sensor. It's 8 megapixels, field of view of 75 degrees, and f2.0. So those are the specs on this thing. The battery loads here in the back, and it charges via USB-C. So that's kind of nice. It does record video on board. We've got a slot for the SD card. And this drone does come with a decent little carrying case, so you can kind of store all your things in here. I'm a big fan of that. In addition to that, they sent me this light, which I don't know if it's visible for 3 statute miles. Hold on. That's the FAA's rule. But it is pretty bright, and it does a handful of different modes. So you just kind of charge this up. They give you a cord in the back. We can kind of change the different options, but kind of nice, right? Because if you're flying at night, you're going to need a light on your drone per the rules. You get a couple of other things in here, extra cables, propellers, screwdriver, stuff like that. This here is the remote control. You can see the sticks. They actually store inside of this top part here, so that's a little different. And then they just kind of pop on. And then you connect your phone up here via a cable. They include a iPhone cable as well as Android. So that's how that works. We've got picture and video button here. We've got a gimbal dial on this side. And then return to home, compass calibration, speed modes. Return to home is this. Whoops, grab that gimbal stick. This button here. So decent little drone. What's up, Lend Me Drones Photography? Thanks for joining us. If you got questions about this thing, let me know. I do have some video on it here. Let's take a look at the drone here in flight. And, pretty stable. The GPS does a decent job here. Is it rock solid? No, you can kind of see it moving around. You can see the gimbal here does a decent job of stabilizing the video. So that's pretty nice. Now, they claim a 10,000 foot range. That's about 3,000 meters. That's about 1.9 miles. So decent range on this thing. Are you really going to fly it that far away? Probably not. I wouldn't recommend it. So there's that. This is an automated flight mode. Your classic droney operation there. Decent drone. You can kind of see the picture here. Now I was shooting this in 4K. I believe it's 4K 25 frames a second. I think the Amazon ad says 4K 30. It's 425. You can shoot in 2.7. I think you can do 2.7 at 50 frames per second. So that's kind of cool. It's a solid option, a good beginner option. They say 31 minutes of flight per battery. And again, just like range, you're not ever going to get the full battery, right? You're not going to really be able to fly 31 minutes on this thing. low 20s is probably more realistic, right? There's so many factors that go into flight time that it's really kind of hard to, give you a listen, your drone's going to fly for this long because you just don't know. It does have some intelligent flight modes, right? You just saw an orbit there. We saw a droney. It's got the classic, the rocket, and the return to home. Those are the ones that I recommend. You can see, I'm not a big fan of the yaw stabilization, right? It is a 3-axis gimbal, but it's not perfect. You can see some props in the upper right-hand corner. So, are we talking professional grade drone here? No, no, definitely not. Are we talking decent option for a beginner? Yeah, absolutely. Especially, $140. There are not a whole lot of drones under $200 that really I would absolutely recommend. There are a handful. Um, I do like what do we got here? Seafly makes a decent one. That's right around $200. Seafly Faith Mini I like. LYZ RC L200 Pro Max. That's a handful. That's about $100. That's, I would say on par with this one. This one's a little bit bigger. Um, so yeah, Joel, thanks for joining us. Yeah, you got a radio on the way. Then we go Sims. You know what? FPV. I do FPV stuff here. You can see I'm testing some of the flight modes. Right, we got the GPS follow, the circle tap to fly, zoom in and out, quick shots. The zoom is actually just it's a digital zoom. It's not optical. And then flight mode. I'm sorry, night mode is just going to up the ISO. So actually that's what most night modes are. But Joe's going FPV. Actually, I got an FPV race later today. I'm not racing. I'm actually a race sponsor for some kids. It's a high school drone race with a local high school here. I sponsor a team. I help them out. I'm going to coach them. I give them some equipment. So 107 Drone says, what comes with the $140 price tag? Well, great question. You get the drone. That's what I have, right? You get one battery. You get the drone, the remote, one battery, and a bag. Plus, you do get the night light. So, yeah, the just under $200 Fly More package, you get 3 batteries. So, you got to kind of figure out, do you need more than 20 minutes of flight time? I think for most beginners, um, I would probably suggest the less expensive package, right? Because if you do like this drone, I think there are better drones out there that I would go to. I would recommend. I love the Spectre Mini. I say that all the time. I've seen it. I've seen it just over $200. Does this have remote ID? Yes, it does. You can kind of see up there on the screen right now as it's flying and doing this remote circle here. There, it does connect to remote ID. Does remote ID really? Yes, it has remote ID, right? But like, how far does it broadcast it? Not so far, I don't think, right? So I think, are you compliant with this? I believe so. It's also less than 250 grams, so it doesn't necessarily need remote ID unless you are flying this as a commercial pilot, which you're not going to. This is not professional grade quality, I wouldn't say. Right? Good for a beginner, but certainly not top notch. There are better options out there. But are you really expecting that at $140? Probably not. I mean, I hope that you're not. Yeah, you can kind of see the color here with my nice bright red shoes. We got a little droney here. I think that's what I showed at the beginning. Um, yeah, and then it saves that to the SD card, and then you can do what you want with that. All right, did I go live with RTMP? I don't know what that is, so probably not. I'm just using StreamYards here, people. That works for me. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you're looking for a drone for less than $200, I've got a full review of what I think are the best drones for $200. I've got a full review. I started at $100. I go 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, all the way up to about $2,000. Talking about the drones that I really like. Later today, like I said, I'm drone racing, and I've got this that I'm going to test out for the first time. Um, This is Beta FPV's new Air 65. Yes, they just released a brand new version of the Air 65. Should have planned ahead and got this thing out of the box, but it is basically, oh, look at that. It looks just like the old Air 65 because it is, except for it has different motors. So these motors are supposed to be 15% more powerful and more efficient. We'll put that to the we'll put it to the test later today. I'll sneak in and do some racing with the kids later on. But yeah, these are their, I think these are 0702. No, they're 07025. Interesting, slightly larger. And they are 27,000 kV. So this is coming in the future. And thanks for watching. Any other questions here, guys? If not, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you. I do make videos for Part 107, so if that's something you're interested in, most of that stuff is for patrons, but I got a handful of things for free. You can check that out on the channel. Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I love the Air 65. Actually, honestly, I love the 75. This is what I'll be flying today. This is basically an Air 75 frame and motors, but I'm using the HD0 all-in-one board with the HD0 camera. So I'm flying HD. That's better than analog, but obviously more expensive. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good luck and happy flying.